What's up, everyone? Beastmode back here with another video. So today we have the deck list from the first ever Beast Mode Circuit Series tournament, which was held last night. It is so there's a VOD, or the stream is actually posted to the channel. We played last night. Started at 8 p.m. Finished about 11. It was 16-person tournament, single elimination. It's a new series that I'm trying out every Friday night. I'm going to stream the event. We have some high-level players that actually participated in the event. Hydro Pump, who won Peak of the Beak recently, has topped a few RBETs. He participated. We had 10-foot also. This is his deck right here. He participated, has won an RBET, topped many other events. We had a few of the top 4 players of the recent Deck Devastators tournament. Karina, who played in this event, as well as Sanchan. And actually, I have the bracket here. You can pull it up. So these are the players who participated here. Sanchan was in. Karina, again, Chico, who got second place at Deck Devastators with Dragons. Hydro Pump. So just stock full of talent, and it's definitely a difficult tournament. You have to go 4-0 because it's single elimination. So if you're interested in playing in these tournaments, you should join the Beast Mode Discord server, which is linked in the on the channel, as well as I'll put it in the video. You join there. It's free to play. We actually have the retro bot hooked up to the server, so you can participate in ranked battles. All of these matches are for ELO or ranked points. You sign up for the tournaments there, and like I said, they're free. The winner of the tournament gets a title and a role on the server, Discord server, and hopefully down the line we will have a winners tournament for all the past winners of all these tournaments on Friday nights, and we'll have like a big winner only event. So that's the plan here. Again, check out the VOD or the live stream. It's posted. You can watch it on 1.5 speed or 2 times speed to get through. It's like a 3-hour stream, but we commentated the matches. We were talking about Yu-Gi-Oh! And kind of hanging out. So today I'm going to review the top 4 deck list of the event. So I will say that there were a lot of machines in this event. I think there were like 3 machines out of 16 players. There were a couple zombie players. There was a Salvo deck, a Macro Monarch deck. Hydro Pump was on Dragon Turbo. There were a couple Blackwing and a couple Vayu. So there was a really good mix. Actually, there was one Frog player too. So a really good mix of decks. And there were some crazy games that went on. I'm going to actually review a couple of the third place zombie players matches. He was playing like out of his mind. I will tell you, there was some pretty high level plays coming. I'm not even familiar with the player, but definitely put himself on the map just the way he was playing. So if he is able to send me the footage of the games, I will review them because I think that there was some high level interactions that took place. So without further ado, we have the 4th place deck here, which is 10 foot. This is his Vayu build. This is pretty much the only deck he plays. Topped a bunch of vets with it. I would say he's probably the best Vayu player in my opinion. So he ended up getting 4th place in this event, and this is his build here. He actually discussed with me that he forgot to put the Cyber Dragons in, which is why you see the Chimera Tech Dragon here, which is probably why he got 4th place and didn't win the event, because there was just so many machines. I will tell you, spoiler alert, there were 2 machine decks in the finals, and without having Cyber Dragons, obviously this Chimera Tech's pretty dead unless you brain control one or something. And definitely, I don't think he's going to make that same mistake. I'm pretty sure Cyber Dragons are now in the sideboard, which they should be. So, excuse me, pretty standard here. I know some of his other builds had triple dust. He's cut that down to 2. Still main deck in triple D prison, which is pretty common at this point. It's like a staple. You see 2 or 3. One Royal Oppression is still sitting in the main deck. Like I said, a lot of players are kind of cutting this, which I do agree with to some extent. I think that it's just not that great into the Blackwing matchup or the Vayu Mirror match, but the problem is now we have a bunch of machine decks running around, so it's hard to say. The meta is kind of like shifting very quickly right now based on the last 2. Well, I wouldn't consider this a meta shifting tournament at all, 16 players, but the Deck Devastators tournament, which took place last week, we saw a bunch of machine decks in the top 8. We saw the Dragon deck, so and Fairies end up winning the whole thing. So it's definitely a big shift, because for quite some time we just saw Blackwing, Vayu, and Zombies just tearing up all the events, and that didn't happen. So again, I'm not sure where Royal Oppression is right now. I'm not sure if you should main it, should side it, but he does elect to main deck the 1 Royal Oppression. Sideboard is pretty much standard. He does have triple pulling the rug because frogs are everywhere right now. you got to have some type of response to what they're doing, or you just kind of lose. He does have the second Royal Oppression in the side, also the third Dust. Thunder King's pretty good against zombies, good against Dragon Turbo. Has its place in sideboard right now, I feel. So again, pretty standard value build here. So that was fourth place. Third place is JRC. Not a player I'm familiar with, but he played very, very well. He's on the Hero Zombie build, which is, this is Silchus's deck list, essentially. He played it very well, I will say that. Made some crazy plays. I'm hoping that I get his footage so we can review it, because I was very impressed. Again, not much to say here. This deck we've seen top countless events, especially with Silchus piloting it. Sideboard, I think it's actually the exact same sideboard, which I think at this point probably needs some updating because of the fact that this sideboard was made before machines were relevant. Of course, the double Cyber Dragons are still there. You really have to have them, but I'm not sure if this sideboard is still like perfect, or if he would roll this out in a big tournament. So there is an RBET in a couple weeks. I'm not sure if he's playing in it or not, but I'm curious to see how his side deck changes, if it does change. Like I said, he's been rolling this deck out pretty much tournament in and tournament out, and still doing well with it. Silchus, that is. He's obviously a very high level player. So, but JRC here played very well, and I'm interested to see if he plays in next week's tournament and see how he does. So that was third place. Second place here. This is Karina, who ended up getting third place at the Deck Devastators tournament last week with Frogs. I think that, she just probably wanted to play something a little different, maybe sick of Frogs for one event, especially where it was kind of like a Friday night local type thing, trying something new. This deck is very unique. Has Rescue Cat, double Airbellum in the deck. There were a couple matches on stream where we were featuring her match, and you actually see the Airbellum just drop like 2 or 3 cards out of somebody's hand. So this deck is very explosive as well because of the Rescue Cat play. You set a hamster, and then next thing you know, next turn follow up with a Rescue Cat, and you're just dropping cards out of someone's hand, making synchros. Limiter, of course, can just steal games, which if you watch the stream, you'll see the winner of the tournament, Ryanide, ended up like limiter removing for game 2 out of 3 of the games. They like just attack, boom, limiter, and just win. Because you can drop like 9,000 damage if you have a Fortress and a Machine of Gear frame. So this deck is very, very explosive. If you're not aware of the machine deck, you need to be, because you're going to see them probably moving forward. I think to some capacity, this deck is going to be very relevant. So side deck wise here, I'm not sure. DD Warrior Lady has been becoming more popular. Another card that kind of is a thorn in Zombies' back here, which is why I think the deck is really taking a nosedive. It's just too much counter. There's too much to counter. This deck's main deck in hamsters, where it goes. You got DD Warrior Lady, one in the main, one in the side. You got double Thunder King, double D Prison here, which is you can't attack with any of the Goblin zombies or anything like that. My Body is a pretty good side deck choice, I think, for specific decks, especially like Frogs and or Fairies, or any deck that really loses to Deck Devastation. Not so much. This deck doesn't really have that much of a problem. Like, every monster is big, but I've noticed the Frog decks are definitely side decking it, because Deck Devastation just destroys that deck. You can kill almost every monster besides the Monarch. So I'm not sure. This might have just been a little tech choice. But overall, this is a very interesting deck. Not a very standard machine build. But there's the addition of the Rescue Cat and double Airbellum. So this is like Machine a Cat, essentially. So we will go on to so this is the winner's deck list here. This is Orionides. I think he's done pretty well in other events. I don't know if he's ever topped anything, but played well last night. So this build is explosive. This is actually different than the builds that topped the Deck Devastators tournament. They were running more of a list like Karina's build here with the Rykos and hamsters. He elected to kind of go all out with the gear frames, and so this is like pure machines here. Double machine dupe, which we saw go off once on stream, and he actually hit the machine Peacekeeper, but JRC actually made a really heads-up play with a Dust Tornado chaining Torrential, so these will miss timing. So again, I'm hoping I get the footage so we can really further discuss, but this deck is very unique, I would say. It plays a Gear Frame package, plays a Machina package, triple Compulse just to bounce your opponent's monster and just swing for game. Like, that's what this is all about. It's like win in 2 turns, essentially. Triple Regeki Break. So the trap lineup's pretty unique. You don't see that very often. like I said, you'll see on stream if you watch the VOD there that, like I said, 2 out of the 3 matches in the finals, he was just boom, summon Gear Frame, summon Fortress, and just limiter for game. So that's why this deck is so deadly. At any given time, you can just win. Double DD Warrior Lady in the side. Again, this card is just everywhere right now. I'm not even sure what this is. Clear World. So this is a field spell. I think Rognok was playing this at one time, and I think it's more or less to stop like specific decks. Maybe light. You play with your hand revealed all times, depending on the. Each player receives effects depending on their monster attributes they control. So it's I guess it's good against everything because it has an effect for every type of monster. If you play against like a Blackwing deck, if they control 2 monsters, they can't declare an attack. Earth, this deck is pretty much all Earth. So let's see what the Earth ability is. During your standby phase, target 1 face-up defense position monster you control, destroy that target. So my guess is that this is just going in against specific matchups, just so it hinders their opponent more or less with the, if it's a light deck or a dark deck. That would be my guess. We have an Imperial Iron Wall. I'm not sure if this is specifically for a certain matchup. Maybe, I'm not even sure if the Frog first turn kill even cares about Imperial Iron Wall anymore. I'm not sure exactly what this is for, but again, this is the winning deck list from last night's tournament, 16-person tournament with, again, we had some top-notch talent. Ryanide is the first BCS winner, which is the Beast Mode Circuit Series. That's what we're going to call it. And again, if you guys want to play in this tournament, please subscribe to the channel and join the Discord, which will be posted in the description if you haven't already. We have a pretty good community going there. Again, you can play ranked matches. We have discussion about, different decks. Every competitive deck there's somebody who has probably topped an event with it and can really help out. And I plan on having the next tournament on Friday night. We'll start at 8 p.m. The stream will be up. And again, we had a really good turnout. There are some plans for the future, which I need to work out. I'm thinking about possibly some team situations where we can do some team battles. Not necessarily like big, X2 versus Crow's Nest or Team Ring of Destruction. None of that. But more or less maybe 3-on-3 or 5-on-5. Something like that where people can make a team and maybe we can incorporate that one of these nights coming up. We're a ways from that. But if you have any questions, comment below or, message in the Discord. There'll be someone there to answer any question. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you all in the next one.